This presentation is sponsored by the Texas Trucking Association and the Texas Trucking Alliance. The purpose is to visit with some key leaders from the past. These people are really founders of the industry as we know it today, and we're fortunate to have three individuals who also operate family business, multi-generational operations. We have today K.L. Breeden, Rex King, and Sam Bishop. K.L., why don't we start with you? What are the two most important things you've learned in the trucking industry?
Okay, I think once the question of regulation went away, the real key factors from that point forward were the questions of service and cost. And everybody is conscious of those factors and interested in those factors. You have, of course, all levels of different types of motor transportation, but you have certain levels of motor transportation that have high levels of service requirements. For instance, all of our distribution centers operate on a 24/7 basis, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months out of the year. That's the way they operate. That's the nature of the business. So service in an atmosphere like that is very important. The teams that you put together to achieve this service are very critical. They've got to be people that really have an interest in what they're doing. So they're team players, they're people that are used to resolving problems. The nature of that type of business is there's no ho-hum. If you've got a problem, you better be right on top of it. And it's not so much that problems don't arise. You know, if you have much of an operation at all, you're always going to be confronted with problems. The question is how quick you are to resolve those problems. That's the key to it. And that's what the customer sees. The customer knows whether or not you're serious about what you're doing. He can tell that by the service you give. And that's a critical thing in the business.
Sam, what about you?
The fact that you have to have respect for everybody. First with the drivers, then with the customers, and then your competition, and then all the allied members. Of course, you get respect by giving respect. If you don't have that, you're not going to get along.
And Rex, we'll close out with you. What are the two most important things you've learned in the trucking industry?
It's a tough business. It's high capital, high exposure, and long hours. And if you love your drivers and support them, they'll do anything for me. They know I love them, but I expect them. Like these guys I'm calling, they better know why they're not here, because I'm going to be on their ass. Because my customers are my ass, see. I love them all, but the more they make, the more I make, see. One of my driver's daughter been with me a long time, and I loaned him money the other day to go up to Annapolis because she signed up to go to the academy. So in the 4 years, she'll come out as an officer. But he's been with me a long time. I got drivers been here 30 and for day one.
All right, great. Let's shift gears a little bit. Rex, what is the biggest change that you've seen in the industry in your years?
Well, it's deregulation. They deregulated. That deregulated the price and all. So then it was open bids. People just used to order trucks. Now they want the rate, and if you're not low, it's just tougher. Total deregulation has made it a lot tougher.
KL, what about you? Biggest change?
Would be the fact that deregulation opened up motor transportation to anyone that wanted to take the leap. And actually in the early years, the mortality rate was extremely high among trucking companies in the country. I remember one time we were on a trip with the Interstate Truckload Carrier Conference people, and we were meeting with other folks, and they were asking us, well, you know, you've deregulated, now what's this done to you? If you had only been used to competing in a regulated format, you were being exposed to something pretty strong when you started operating in an unregulated. And the difference was so marked. Before deregulation, freight generally moved in cents per 100 pounds. Upon the demise of regulation, it started moving in cents per mile. I suppose always a fear is the unknown, and we were always probably fearful that maybe this unregulated thing won't be very good. Well, it turned out from our standpoint, and I think the industry's, it's a very good thing. But competition is very strong.
Sam, biggest change?
Oh, goodness. When Jimmy Carter signed the Surface Transportation Act in 1983, essentially deregulating interstate trucking, everybody went in a spiral down, and everybody else thought they could get in the trucking business and do it cheaper. Then after that, about 10 or 12 years, I don't remember the exact time, when federal preemption overrode intrastate regulation. And then the whole country was essentially deregulated. Deregulation is good if you survive it. You don't survive it, it's not good.
Okay, and then finally, look into the future. Sam, you've got a son in the business, and you also have some very strong young leaders in your operation. What would you say to them and other emerging leaders in our industry about the future?
Be ready for change and a challenge each day in the trucking business.
Change and challenge.
Right.
Every day.
Every day. There's no easy days in the trucking business anymore. Of course, there never was. I've been in the trucking business now. I'm working on my 56th year in trucking, and I've not seen any real easy days. What I've found out over the years I've been in trucking is you better take one step and make sure that foot's on a solid ground before you take the next step. And I've always done that, and of course, I'm not a $100 million company, and we're comfortable, and that's all I ever wanted to be. You can't spend everything you make, not if you're going to stay in business. And what I taught my boys is cash flow is very important. And you don't spend it all. You don't spend anything you don't have to spend. Buy the things you have to have, and don't buy the things you won't.
And Rex, what would you say to Jessica and her peers in the Emerging Leaders Council about the future of the trucking industry?
Well, first of all, they better love trucking, because there's going to be a lot of hours, going to be a lot of responsibility, both with the people you hire, both your customers. And she's smart. She does a good job. She loves it, but she's smarter than I am. She's good. I'm in good hands. We sold the business to the kids. I can't even sign checks. I'm just here because I love my drivers. She runs it. She's smart. She likes it.
So they better like trucking.
Oh, they better like trucking. They better like people. They better be ready to work long hours. They better be able to borrow a lot of money. And they better be ready for some disappointments. My door's always open, and I bet I enjoy people. That's the thing. You gotta like people.
Yeah.
Support them, and it's
I
hard
do.
work. Just fight this traffic all day long.
Yeah.
And you know, but you're responsible for that freight, and you better count your freight. You better make sure it's in the right place, right? Because we do a lot of LTL work. We do it all.
Yeah.
We do every truck out there. We compete against every phase of it, except we don't move people, don't move cattle. But anything else, we compete against. Over the years, Mom and I have found out that the more you give, the more you get back. And I don't know why, but it just seems that way. It just seems like it's just that way. It's just that simple. The more you give, the more you get.
KL, what would you say to Win and so many people that he is working with that are the next generation of leaders in the industry about the future?
Okay, one thing I think that we're seeing a lot of the technological advances now. We have these computers in the trucks that the moment you turn on the switch on the truck, the driver's hours of service are there. Well, the driver's hours of service is a critical issue. And the regulatory people, the DOT, they know that if you've got a call qualm there, all they've got to do is get up there and look at it. They can tell. They know when the driver came on duty and what he's done. So that's a technological advance that helps you do those things. I don't know where this will go, but they're having to look at it. One of the key problems our industry's always had is by the time a young man becomes 21 years old, he has already, if he didn't go to college, he's already started some kind of an occupation when he graduated from high school. So from 18, 19, 20, he is not available to the industry. Now, there's a lot of reasons for it, and these are not simple, and it's been very long coming to the fore, but there are now initiatives apparently being taken at the national level. I just recently read that they're looking at now doing some programs, experiments, where they have a number of combinations to try to take these young people that are yet less than 21 and still make them a safe driver. And the question on this is all safety. I mean, no one wants to put anyone on the highway that's not safe. Then, if we can start getting some people into the industry, the tremendous shortage of drivers that seems to just be pervasive all the way, it's with us all the time. If you're using hired drivers, maybe something can be done good there.
That concludes our presentation today. Thank you for listening. We look forward to hearing from additional leaders in the future.